The new season of RPM takes off with the World Rally cars in full flight on the buy and sell Circuit of Ireland International Rally. 3 days of testing tarmac stages for the best drivers and the best cars in Ireland.
Round 2 of the Pirelli series will have to go a long way to follow round 1 in Galway, where some sensational new machinery was launched. The main talking point was Austin McHale's aggressive-looking 2003 Focus WRC. It eventually finished third. But it was thumbs down for Derek McGarrity, though, as this puncture dropped him out of the lead, leaving the big duel between Eugene Donnelly's new Corolla and Tapio Laukkanen's Impreza. The final verdict going to Tapio by a record-breaking 0.7 of a second. Their battle will now resume on Ireland's most famous motoring event. For the third year in a row, the Fermanagh town of Enniskillen hosts the buy and sell Circuit of Ireland International Rally, which will not stray too far from the Lakeland on its traditional Easter rampage. Once again, the rally takes off at St Angelo Airfield on Easter Saturday and finishes there at the end of a relatively easy day, covering just 35 stage miles out of a total of 170.
Well, welcome to day 1 of the buy and sell Circuit of Ireland Rally here at St Angelo Airport, just out in Enniskillen. On paper it looks like a 4-way fight, but the talking point has to be the rivalry that's developed between Tapio Laukkanen and Eugene Donnelly. Remember, in Galway there was only 0.7 seconds separating 1 and 2.
It's been a busy week for Tapio's mechanics, putting a new engine in the S7 Subaru, but the Finn doesn't look too flustered.
It's going to be a long 3 days.
And you don't want anything as close as Galway?
Oh, of course not, but I think it's going to be very close anyway. There is so many drivers who can win this one.
But surely Eugene Donnelly is the one who wants to win more than most.
Finished Galway, I was very happy with the way it was going, and I'm very happy with the car since I bought it, and just more of the same.
Will more of the same be good enough to hold off the advances of multiple tarmac champion Austin McHale as he adapts to his ultimate World Rally car?
The car feels fine, you know, the engine feels very good, and we're quite confident.
Derek McGarrity, having won last year and led Galway, has every right to feel confident.
It's a hard act to follow from last year.
Yeah, we'll only have to try our best.
Well, it's a big field.
It is, yes, but they're all here to be beaten.
Donny O'Sullivan will be hard to beat. He's just won the West Cork and Kerry national rallies.
We've had 2 very successful test sessions, I suppose you would call them. We done the tour events and done a lot of adjustments, and we're very happy with our setup now.
But now it's time for the talk and speculation to stop, as Austin McHale is first to fire off the start line. Soon, however, the focus won't fire at all as Austin spins and stalls the car on the stage, dropping a gutting 20 seconds. Quite a contrast to his Galway start. Tapio Laukkanen could greet misfortunes like that with glee, but he's about to become the second victim in this seemingly innocent spectator stage. But look at that smoke from the Subaru. As Derek takes off, Tapio pulls off with a very serious problem. And remember, these World Rally cars cost in excess of £250,000. Kenny McKinstry is on the scene to help, and he should know more than anyone the seriousness of the situation. Fortunately, nobody's been hurt, but the budget is severely burnt. His great rival from Galway, Eugene Donnelly, realises he's now denied a race with the Finn.
Stay left. Look, somebody's turn tight.
It's a big blow so early in the rally.
Good tar, 40. Turn square left.
Tapio, everybody's all right?
Oh yeah, everybody's fine except the car. That was a bit of a short trip, but well, these things happen, so obviously, and now we just have to find out what caused the problem.
Exactly, you've no idea at this stage if it's too soon to tell?
No, too soon to tell anything, but obviously some sort of oil pipe or something was loose and that caused the fire.
And sadly, this may be the last time we see Tapio's car on the RA stages this year, as the budget is not there to run it on. Starting the first real test near Temple, Austin McHale has time to make up. And with the co-driver Brian Murphy starting to work hard on the pace notes, the Dubliner will be second fastest. Although having number 2 in the door, the focus is first on the road, as number 1 seed Andrew Nesbitt didn't start the event. So Austin is the first to find the muddy places.
150. Go. Right entry, slight left.
Fastest man, though, is Derek McGarrity. Derek has made a superb start, cleaning 6 seconds off everybody at St. Angelo, 6 again on the first proper stage and 4 on the next, to lead by 16 seconds after 3 stages. It's not as if anybody's going easy, though. Eugene Donnelly dramatically shows this.
Let it in for the 4 right at the top, square left plus here, 100.
The detail in Paul Cayley's pace notes is essential for these extra seconds, and Eugene is making full use of the road.
Farmyard over flat crest to 2 right, to 2 right again, brake for long hairpin left.
He is second fastest on stages 3 and 4 to move into second spot, despite feeling that the Corolla is set a little bit too soft. In car again, we see how slippery these stages are, especially with the muck pulled out onto the road by the earlier Northern Ireland Championship runners.
Over bump.
Maurice Gass was 4th fastest in St. Angelo, but that was as good as it was going to get. He is not having a happy marriage with Hyundai, and the engine begins to lose its accent. Almost losing it in another way, right at the very start of stage 1 is Donny O'Sullivan.
Into 1 right, 40, turn square left. Turn square left, 40, turn
Co-driver
right.
Paul Nagel sees the funny side as Donny sets an impressive second fastest time on the stage.
Flat bump 80, 2
The
right,
more serious moment on stage 2, however, is no laughing matter.
right, keep and cut late after fast front, into flat crest 170. 170, 2 left flat, 60, well held.
Well held is an understatement. Now just listen to the front wheel hitting a rock on this right-hander on stage 3.
And 1 left, into 2 right.
They've picked up a puncture, but they drop only 7 seconds and lie a strong third.
Bump 3 here, we're very nearly, dip, 60, left over crest, jump, 250, we're now to finish, all the way flat to the finish, keep it going, we're puncher, 2 left over crest, 80.
Tim McNulty doesn't need to give way here, but he finds the next signpost thankfully gives way. But unfortunately his gearbox gives in right at the end of the second test, and he's the second major retirement. It's not the gearbox, but the clutch that's the problem in Paddy White's car. Whilst rust is the problem inside the Doherty machine. The crew haven't been out for a long time, but they're shining it up nicely now. But it's Derek McGarrity and Dermot O'Gorman that they're all on the lookout for, as he gains another 2 seconds to lead by 22 seconds after 5 stages.
It's not a big lead, but comfortable enough at the moment?
It's a lead, that's what's important.
How's it been today so far?
Yeah, very good. We haven't pushed overly hard yet. We'll save it a bit till the morning, but I'm happy enough with what's happened today.
Into long, 2 left.
Eugene Donnelly has been second fastest on the last 3 stages, and although he's dropped over 20 seconds to Derek today, he also knows that the meat of this rally happens tomorrow.
Small flat crest, stay middle, 80. Care for 3 left, tightens over crest, and 1 right. 60. 3 left, 4 right plus, opens. 4 right, 300.
As we see from O'Sullivan's car, Maurice Gass won't see tomorrow, and this will be the last time we ever see him in a Hyundai. Thankfully, he doesn't hold Donny up, as he is locked in battle with the newer Focus of Austin McHale. Donny's Focus is a 2001 model and lacks some of the latest trick bits.
100, 4 left fast.
And Austin moves ahead of Donny by 1 second after stage 5. But Paddy White is struggling with no clutch, and it must be a relief that the day is ending. But not for the thousands who have turned out. It's turned out to be a good day for the Dohertys as they slide into 5th. And Austin McHale is about to slide from 3rd to 4th, as Gordon Dunn's pictures show. St. Angelo is not being kind to the Sanyo car. Donny O'Sullivan, meanwhile, thinks he's back in his Mark II Escort as the BioClear car clears the stage 2nd fastest. Eugene Donnelly in the Kingspan car is about to find out how slippery it is off the normal line.
Stop for square left.
He knows he can't afford to give Derek McGarrity any extra seconds, especially as Derek is using every inch available to gain that extra advantage, pulling another 2 seconds here. 23 seconds is not a lot in rallying, especially as day 2 contains almost 3 times the stage miles of day 1.
It's north of Enniskillen for day 2, the big day in the Circuit of Ireland with 10 stages, starting with a bumpy Croke Bridge test near Castledurg. Derek McGarrity isn't way in the distance yet, but he threatened to go quickly this morning, and he does. He slashes 8 seconds off Eugene here in the 8-mile opener to extend his lead to 30 seconds. Looking at Eugene, it's not as if he looked slow in any way. On the next test, he responds by taking 2 seconds back, stretching the Corolla, and I'm sure his nerve to the maximum on the fast, bumpy straights.
Bad jump bridge.
And by stage 10, he's got the gap back to 24 seconds.
Keep left at the lane there, just there at the end of the trees, just here. 3 bad bumps, turn square right. Over bumps, watch the dip, 650.
60, caution, 5 right over.
Johnny O'Sullivan is bottoming out on the bumps here on Croke Bridge and is under severe pressure from McHale. He drops 10 seconds to Austin in the first 2 tests, and by stage 10, Austin has got ahead.
5 by 40, unseen jump 2, 80, 6 left long over here, bridge, long over bridge.
McHale has had a minor overshoot, but it's only cost him 5 seconds, and he now finds himself just 1.5 seconds ahead of his Ford compatriot and trying hard to stay ahead. Daniel Doherty is 4th fastest on the first test, despite a problem with a hesitant throttle pedal. While Paddy White's clutch pedal is all but useless. At the Oma service, the talk is about Derek's pedalling, and with limited time available, it's a routine check for the leaders' cars. If checking the laptops can never be called routine. Eugene is pushing harder now, much to the delight of his fan base.
Who do you support? Tommy Mackin, not Charlie Donnelly at all. And do you support Eugene Donnelly at all?
Yeah.
Both Austin and Donny are now over a minute behind the leaders.
Eugene and Derek are having a good race at the front, and Austin and ourselves, there's only 1.2 seconds between us, and there's half the rally to go yet, so we're having a good race and we're certainly enjoying ourselves.
The next test, Slough Glen, contains a hair-raising, flat-out bumpy straight, and Donny is about to find out that the rear suspension is not fully sorted.
Pressing the bump dip 200.
It's an amazing escape at over 120 miles an hour. Have a look at it again. The action at the front is intense, as Eugene shows.
1 left crossover bumps, 100. flat 2 right, 150 over small flat crest.
He's 2.4 seconds quicker than Derek on stage 11.
2 left, a long, very tight 4 right. That should done now.
Stage 12, Scalpy won and he's keeping up the pace, but Derek is 1.3 seconds faster. Still, it's very close, over 9 miles. Stage 13, Gallon Bridge, and Derek claws back another second. But Eugene is in fighting form and he's fastest again in Slotton Glen 2 by 3.4 seconds. He's chosen intermediate tyres and on stage 15 it's the right choice, taking 5.7 seconds off Derek. It looks like it's going in Eugene's favour, but then Derek goes flat out on stage 16 and takes 8.2 seconds back. So in all those 6 stages, Eugene's gained but 1 scant second. The battle behind has deflated as Austin has dropped a minute with a front wheel puncture on the final test. Donny is now 3rd and still fighting it. And the Dohertys are still in 5th and learning the rallying game all over again. But Paddy White's drive is all gone. On the toughest day of the rally, it almost looks like the leaderboard hasn't been rewritten overnight. Day 3 and still 56 stage miles to fight out. Can Derek hold Eugene?
There's about, what, 25 seconds, 30 seconds between you and Eugene?
Yeah, I think 25.
And the plan for today then is obviously to try and keep that.
Yeah, I'll try and increase that.
He doesn't on the first 2 stages, losing 1.5 seconds to Eugene. But then he takes a staggering 9 seconds back on stage 19. This stage at Lurgan was used 2 years ago, and the bumps have made it one of the most spectacular rallying locations in the country. Eugene hasn't backed off, equaling Derek on the first and taking that time on the second test. But whether it be technology or tactics, we've no answer to Derek on 19 near Trillick. And as you can see, he was giving it everything over the jump.
130, one right.
Donny O'Sullivan pipped Eugene by 2 seconds on stage 19, but he's not going to get too wound up at this stage. Third place will do very nicely, especially as that's oil all over the bonnet. Austin, however, is eyeing Donny's 3rd place and making a concerted effort to regain that spot. And the Dohertys are ready to pounce should anyone strike trouble. Derek now has 31 seconds in hand with 3 proper tests and St Angelo to go. And clearly, he's still trying. Eugene locks up in his efforts, but takes 3.4 seconds back over the first 2 tests, pushing the car over the slippery, changeable conditions. By the last road stage, however, he's sensibly settled for second.
It's the final rundown now after 3 days of intensive rallying. The Doherty brothers have survived a last-minute excursion to finish 5th after a long absence. Austin McHale always appears to be the last of the late breakers, but the previous winner is locked in 4th place, and I'm sure he'll be looking for better in Killarney. But he may find it even harder with Donny O'Sullivan and Paul Nagel, who can't wait to get onto their home territory.
We've had an absolutely fantastic weekend. We've enjoyed today. We've been under no pressure at all.
Eugene Donnelly has kept the pressure on all weekend, but he was just unable to close the gap on McGarrity. Bearing in mind his older machinery, it's another superb second for Eugene and co-driver Paul Kiley.
It has been unbelievable. Like, it's a great race, like a fantastic race. I mean, Derek put up some show. I have to admit that. Like, he put up some show. Like, we tried our best. I can say that. Like.
The best, however, for the second-year running, Derek McGarrity and Dermot O'Gorman, and interestingly, it was Dermot's circuit hat-trick, as he also won in 1993.
The weekend went to plan. We decided on our pace and we upped it and downed it as we needed to, so under control.
Yes, Derek has been at the #1 position all weekend, but can he take his maiden Killarney victory, a place that he has been unlucky in the past? For now, though, it's Derek's day, and this is the last we'll see of this car in his hands. It's already been sold. Eugene now goes to Killarney with just 1 point in hand in the Pirelli Series. Austin is still within striking distance, and Donny on home ground, who knows? The lowlands of Enniskillen, the second stop for the Group N Series, which started in Galway. It was James Foley who surprised, having a great battle with last year's champion Roy White, who retired on day 2. Desi Keenan's first Group N drive netted second, but it was James Foley who slithered to victory, although he won't be sliding off the circuit starting ramp, which leaves the door wide open to some new contenders.
Championship contenders like Aaron McHale will be seeing the likes of local man Gary Jennings and also Robbie McGurk, better known for his forestry expeditions.
But how does Robbie feel about his first tarmac expedition?
There's a lot of slippy stuff. Different story on racing tyres when you hit the slippy muck and stuff. I mean, you're just a passenger, and at the end of the day, Pat Price generally loaned me this car, and I want to bring it back in the same shape on Monday evening.
Former Rex Peugeot driver Gary Jennings is getting his first taste of Group N on the open roads.
I think that there's so many of us, and so many young drivers are really good class to be in.
The action begins on Easter Saturday with 6 stages, mainly to the south and east of Enniskillen. And Aaron McHale is the first away from St Angelo Airport. Desi Keenan and Enda Sherry are second away, but the Monaghan crew don't want to stay there as they make a spirited attack in the opening stages. And talking of attack, former Focus Championship frontrunner Colin Murphy is on maximum attack. He's immediately trying to compensate for the Subaru's poor gearing.
100 over bumps and fast 3 right.
Colin and co-driver Ger Lockery are looking to go one better than their 4th place in Galway. Cathal Rogers is another newcomer to Group N in his Evo 7. But Keith McIver had a good result here last year and had a promising start with second fastest in the opening St Angelo stage. Local man Charlie McVitie has had his car repaired from Galway, but many of the fans are interested to see how Robbie McGurk and Rory Kennedy are faring. They are 4th early on and taking no major chances. Brendan McLaughlin, however, looks to be on the limit, or just over it at St Angelo. The Drummahoe driver is obviously trying to keep his older Evo 5 in contention. Conor Byrne, however, is trying even harder. The local driver is flinging his even older Evo 4 around like an old Escort, but it's working as he's 6th in Group N. Things are also working well for Gary Jennings in the new car. He is fastest in the opening St Angelo test, and along with co-driver Paul Gary, the Fisher Engineering car holds a tiny 1 second lead after stage 4. But he's about to lose that lead as Charlie McVitie, seated just ahead of Gary, is struggling with engine maladies, and he is soon caught by Gary. There is nowhere to pass, and the seconds are disappearing rapidly. Desi Keenan doesn't realise it, but he is now in the Group N lead. His performances over the opening tests have been impressive, and he is now 9 seconds in front. Gary Jennings is a mere 0.3 of a second faster over the final stage at St Angelo. But it's going to be a close battle, especially as Robbie McGarrity has charged into third place and is less than 30 seconds behind Jennings. That was at the expense of Aaron McHale, who is just 1 second back from Robbie. And he is to watch his mirrors, though, as Colin Murphy is really speeding up.
150, 2 left, and small crest. 150 bumpy, 2 right. 100. 2 right again. 200.
Murphy is second fastest here in stage 5 and closes to within 4 seconds of Aaron. But that gap is about to be dramatically extended at St Angelo.
100 over water.
Despite this little excursion, he is still only 11 seconds down on Aaron and still in touch with the leaders. Going into day 2, there is no way that the leaderboard won't change. With almost 3 times the distance to cover and some of the more tricky tests ahead, such as Slough and Glen, the contest is all to play for.
Well, to say the pace in Group N is hot and heavy would certainly be an understatement, as 5 of the top 10 places are taken by Group N cars. Desi Keenan has the upper hand, but Gary Jennings, Robbie McGarrity and Aaron McHale are hot on his heels.
No vantage points are left untouched as the crews tackle the first test near Castledag. The drama has started already, as Colin Murphy shows us. That's Robbie McGarrity parked up. Carl Rogers, meanwhile, is contending with a front puncture. Dermot Hannafin suffering from a misfire and a brake problem here. And it's proving to be a tough day as Ronan McLaughlin's Mitsubishi and Owen Doyle's Subaru are soon to drop out. While Conor Byrne will drop off the road on stage 9. Aaron McHale has dropped in 2 fastest times on the opening 2 tests to move closer to the leaders. Gary Jennings is trying hard to close that 9-second gap.
300.
But after 4 stages, he's dropped a further 8 seconds.
It's very hard to judge the pace. You know, it's my first time out in the car, and these boys are going hard. So yeah, you probably caught us sleeping, but yeah, we're stretched out again now, so it's really exciting.
Desi Keenan knows he has to keep up yesterday's pace. Here in stage 10, he's giving it everything, and he's had the back of the Evo in the ditch as the trailing bumper shows. Nevertheless, the efforts have been worth it. Another 3 seconds.
And what about you and Gary, the battle today? It's fairly close again.
It's very close again. This morning now, he caught me sleeping a wee bit. I dropped 4 to him, but then just had to kick myself into gear and get going, and we took back up now to 11 point something. So.
But the crowds have more to enjoy in day 2 and 3 with the Circuit of Ireland National Rally. Gary Keenan chucks his escort into 4th, being pipped for 3rd by Harold Brown's well-driven Astra. Seamus O'Connell and Sean McGee are the top Mark II in 2nd place. But it's Jay Jordan and Graham Stewart who bring their much more modern Escort WRC into the top spot. While in a different era, Adrian Kermode's Porsche takes the historic honours. Back to the Group N race, and Kevin Watson is leaving his braking very late to race into 6th. But Willie Fannin in 5th feels he can brake even later. Colin Murphy, however, has really broke away from these drivers and is keeping Aaron McHale under some pressure. But the pressure is too much for his gearbox, and his rally ends stuck in reverse gear. At the front, things have also reversed. Keenan has picked the wrong rubber and is back in 2nd. Jennings is in inspired form, taking 6 seconds off Desi on stage 11 and a staggering 18 seconds on the wet and final day's test, helping him turn a 10-second deficit into a 25-second lead. Day 3, 56 miles of stages start close to Jennings' backyard, but they say there's nothing more dangerous than your own home stages. The first test near Irvinstown, and Gary James is about to prove that myth in spectacular fashion.
Right over dip, that's right.
It's been a frightening accident, and Gary is freed from the car. Thankfully, both Gary and co-driver Paul Gary are okay, and we see again the approach is too fast, and he clips the left-hand bank, flipping the car onto its roof, and I'm afraid out of the rally. The expected battle is now over, and Desi Keenan looks almost certain for a Group N victory. But there are other victories, and Frank and Declan Toomey fly swiftly to Class 1 honours, ahead of ladies winners Aisling Doris and Wendy Blackridge. John Gallagher heaves his Honda to Class 2 honours, whilst in Class 3, Alan McMahon tries to shift some tyres in his Honda. But the similar machine of Alan Cathcart and Paddy Flanagan finish a remarkable 10th overall and 4th overall in Group N. John McElhenney is spectacular on his way to Class 5 honours, ahead of a true rally veteran, Harry Cathcart. RPM's Andrew Bush and Ian Regan meanwhile have a dramatic weekend to Class honours. A loss of over 2 minutes here when the car cut out and a brake failure kept them from the top 10, but they still finished a superb 12th overall, 2 minutes ahead of John McDade's 106. Glenn Wilson's clutch expired on day 1. And despite this minor overshoot, Guy Woodcock was the top two-wheel drive car in 8th place overall. It's hands high for Subaru as Dermot Hannafin leaps back into 11th overall. But there are hard luck stories as Cathal Rogers retires with clutch failure. But it's to be even worse for Aaron McHale, seemingly in a secure 2nd place. His clutch fails and it grinds to a halt 3 miles from the finish. Charlie Mavitti finishes 3rd in Group N, whilst Willie Fannin records his highest Group N finish in 2nd. But Desi Keenan truly takes off on stage 19. He takes a well-deserved first Group N victory.
Brilliant. Delighted to get here. A lot of wee squeaks and noises in there past the rest of the day there, but delighted to get here now.
The final times don't reflect the epic battles, and the championship battle has really hotted up with Keenan now on top of the pile.